50 Cent does not like P. Diddy. That's not just gossip. That's something he's been saying in different ways for nearly 20 years. Every few years it pops back up. A joke in an interview or a jab on Instagram. People laugh, repost it, treat it like just another 50 Cent troll moment. But 50, although notoriously petty, doesn't keep coming back to the same person for no reason. To truly understand why 50 Cent hates P. Diddy, we've got to go back almost 2 decades, because this isn't some random celebrity beef. It's a long-running story about power, control, and 2 completely different versions of what a boss is supposed to look like. For years, Diddy looked untouchable. Now with allegations, arrest, a whole documentary breaking everything down, the world is finally starting to look at him the way 50 always has. As always, it's Kaylebb, and today we're diving into why 50 Cent hates P. Diddy and why he's been at war with him for most of his career. Before the documentaries, before the lawsuits, Diddy was untouchable. He started out as an intern at Uptown Records, running errands and just soaking up all of the knowledge. By 24, he was fired. But by 25, he launched Bad Boy Records and rewrote the rules of hip-hop. He manufactured stars: Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, Faith Evans, Toto, and of course, notorious B.I.G. Biggie. Now when he found Biggie, it was a cultural shift. Ready to Die blew the doors off in 1994, and Bad Boy became a hit factory. And Diddy, or Puff Daddy back then, positioned himself as the flashy, dancing, champagne-spraying boss who never missed. Even when tragedy hit, when Biggie was killed in 1997, Diddy spun Loss into legacy. I'll Be Missing You, the song wrote as a tribute, became Billboard #1. He kept the machine moving, and for a while, it felt unstoppable. But Diddy didn't stop at music. He wanted everything. Fashion, he launched Sean John, the luxury streetwear before that was even a term. Liquor, he promoted Ciroc and turned it into a lifestyle brand. Then came TV. He launched Revolt, a whole network built around music and black culture. For years, everything Diddy touched turned to gold. He was the mogul, the man who threw the white parties in the Hamptons and still pulled up to the Grammys like a rock star. Forbes loved him, artists wanted to be around him, and the media even crowned him hip-hop's CEO. And for a long time, no one questioned it. That aura, the confidence, the suits, the wealth, the flash, it became his armor. He was the culture. And that's the Diddy the world saw. And the man 50 has been going after for over 2 decades. If Diddy was the polished CEO of hip-hop, 50 Cent was the part that the boardrooms pretended didn't exist. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson grew up in Southside Jamaica, Queens, the kind of environment that rappers reference for credibility, but he actually lived it. In May 2000, outside of his grandmother's house, he was ambushed and shot 9 times. Hand, arm, hip, legs, chest, even his face. He wasn't supposed to survive this attack, but he did. The shooting became the lying in the sand. Before that, he was hustling and rapping, but after that, the lyrics in his rap songs became real life. The streets caught on first, but then the industry had no choice but to follow. Eminem heard him, saw the story, and brought him to Dr. Dre. In 2002, 50 was signed, and it was over for everyone else. Get Rich or Die Trying dropped in 2003, and it was a moment.
Now go there, because if we go there too much, I'm going to have to say 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. We turning it up real quick. G-Unit. Bop! We could get the drama popping, nigga. Bop, bop, bop!
That probably might be arguably one of the best debuts.
But the music wasn't the only thing about 50 that defined him. 50 came in as a problem. He went at Ja Rule and Murder Inc. like it was his personal mission. Diss tracks, radio interviews, street level pressure. He basically removed Ja from the map. And he didn't stop with just Ja. Fat Joe, Rick Ross, Kanye, Wayne, even his own people could get smoked. If he felt a way, he said it. Publicly. People literally called him the king of beef. There's no respect your elders filter with 50. If you're moving funny, he'll say it. And that's where the tension with Diddy really starts to make sense. To 50, he's the creative, the one who bled for this and almost died for this. And Diddy, in his eyes, is the shiny suit businessman, the guy who stands next to the talent and profits off of it. So from the very beginning, you had this silent clash. For a while, it looked like there was no real issue between them. Early 2000s, you'd see 50 and Diddy in the same spaces, same award shows, even on the same stages. Diddy literally handed 50 an MTV Video Award on live TV. Smiles, daps, all good on the surface. But behind that, things were already getting weird. One of the first cracks showed up with someone they both had history with. Maze. Maze was the bad boy golden boy in the late 90s. Then he disappeared, found God, came back and decided he wanted a new start with G-Unit. To Maze, it made sense. To 50, it made sense. And according to 50, even Diddy was cool with Maze finding a new situation until it was time to actually sign. That's when Diddy suddenly turned into a brick wall. He allegedly asked for $2 million just to let Maze out of his contract. 50 clowning it later tells you exactly how he felt about it.
Yo, Playboy, yo, I thought, you know how we going Tiffany Co. right now. We pick up something, they ain't gonna say nothing. They gonna send us an invoice later. They gonna let us walk out. That's what I thought you was doing with Mace. I thought you was taking them on tour. When you come back, you gonna take care of me. I said, oh, it ain't nothing. So I just waiting for you to take care of me.
So was there a number talked about?
Yeah, I was like, what you looking for that?
What you want?
He said $2 million. I'm like, Mace ain't worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket. Is you crazy?
To 50, that was greed and ego. A man holding on to another man's career like a hostage. And once 50 feels like you're exploiting artists, it's only a matter of time before he starts talking. The real explosion came in 2006 on a mixtape track called Hip Hop. 50 stopped hinting and started swinging. He went straight for Diddy's most sensitive point, Biggie. He rapped, "Puff know who hit that nigga. He's soft." He also took shots at those famous Hamptons white parties. I guess this means I won't be invited to the white parties. I don't give a f. I don't want to hang out with your punk ass, no way. Diddy denied any implications about Biggie like he always has, but the damage was done. 50 had made it clear that he was willing to cut through the mythology around Diddy, his Mr. Untouchable aura. From there, the jabs just kept coming. In interviews, 50 started going at Diddy's credibility as an artist. He accused Diddy of squeezing every last drop out of Biggie's name. Posthumous albums, constant references, tribute projects, movies, and 50 basically called it all a hustle. By the mid-2010s, it was a theme. Anytime Diddy's name came up, 50 found a way to question his business, his morals, or his authenticity. The smiles from 2003 were long gone. What you had now was two men who represented completely different things in hip-hop, and one of them had made it his mission to keep reminding the world that he never trusted the other. At this point, it's not enough to just say 50 doesn't like Diddy. That's obvious. The real question is, why? Why has he been on this man's neck for almost 2 decades? When you look at it closely, it all comes back to one thing. 50 feels like Diddy is everything he hates about the industry in one person. Let's break it down. From early on, 50 painted Diddy as the kind of businessman who uses his artists instead of building them. The Maze situation was just a start. When you zoom out, you can see why that bothered him so much. Looking at the bad boy roster over the years, the Locks fighting for publishing, Maze calling Diddy out over masters, artists complaining about deals, about never really owning their work. Meanwhile, Diddy keeps getting richer. To 50, that pattern is the problem. Diddy's the guy who drains his artists dry, then moves on. The next thing 50 can't stand is the performance. Diddy built this persona as the smiling mogul, brother love, the dancing happy, we're all blessed figure. The white parties, his speeches about black excellence, champagne always popping. On paper it looks inspiring, but to 50 it looks fake. And as allegations started surfacing, that gap between image and reality became bigger and harder to ignore. You've got this man presenting himself as the boss, a family man, and at the same time you've got all these stories about what's allegedly happening behind closed doors. 50 wasn't a fan, saying if he didn't say anything, the world might have thought hip-hop was okay with his behaviors.
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that shit.
Diddy was too protected, too powerful, and too connected for anyone in the industry to openly speak up. So 50 took it personally. In his mind, someone had to puncture that untouchable myth, and he decided that someone was him. Now on top of all that, 50 is just petty. He doesn't let stuff go. He's taken some very personal shots at Diddy over the years, some valid, some petty, and some just really messy. But one thing he's never stopped saying is that Diddy is weird around men.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you
it's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping.
Where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because I'm
I
saying
miss-
it seems like a thing.
I
It's
miss
his
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for your
him.
birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying?
That goes back to the story where Diddy allegedly asked to take him shopping. 50 said that it threw him off completely.
The nigga Puff was like, first he was amping him to get style. Then he was like, when we gonna get the chance to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga.
In later interviews, he leaned into it even harder, calling him slurs, calling Diddy names, and planting that sort of image in people's mind.
If when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect
No.
your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer
Just
help you
confused.
guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
That's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like we need to party. What is he talking about?
Then there's the party stuff. Now 50's been very vocal about not going to these puffy parties because of the energy and of course the rumors of what happens there.
Yes. It's the lifestyle stuff. The thing that they're doing is not, because that was also the harness influence.
What you mean?
Like with the parties and everything with Puff, it's the harness influence to get people there. And then they're not saying.
So now
that,
he got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you all the way out of pocket, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't. Everybody didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, now you gotta be cool now. Don't ever go against this.
Anytime a strange clip pops up, Diddy with a shirtless dancer, oiled up or acting wild, 50's the first one on Instagram to make sure we see it. Then the bomb really dropped. The Cassie lawsuit, the abuse allegations, the sex trafficking claims, the raids, the indictments, stuff that for years was whispered about in corners, suddenly on headlines. When Homeland Security raided Diddy's home, 50 posted, "Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they've got a case." At this point, it wasn't trolling anymore. 50 went into crusade mode. He announced a docu-series about Diddy and the allegations and promised proceeds would go to the victims of the sexual assault. For 50, this was confirmation, proof that the fake boss he's been calling out is now being exposed on a massive scale.
See the 50 doc.
Netflix just dropped a 4-part docu-series called Sean Combs, The Reckoning. All the shots 50 fired have all led to this. Some people didn't believe he would.
When 50 Cent was supposed to be putting out a documentary about Puff on Netflix,
Yes.
where is it?
I think it's still happening.
Yeah, right. He's capping.
But he came through with his promise. Executively produced by 50 Cent, directed by Alexandria Stapleton, for the first time, Diddy isn't the one telling the story about Diddy. This was the official deep dive. Cameras, lawyers, investigators, alleged victims, former friends, bad boy insiders, all under one banner on the biggest streaming platform in the world. The documentary promised explosive, never before seen material, and it delivered. There's unseen footage of Diddy in the days before his 2024 arrest, not the confident dancing mogul we're used to seeing, but a man who looked like the walls were closing in. From 50's point of view, this documentary isn't random. It's the logical end of everything he's been doing for the last decade. 50 and Stapleton said they wanted to give a voice to the voiceless, to let people who were ignored or brushed aside finally tell their side of the story. And at the same time, they're careful to say that Diddy is not the whole story of hip-hop.
And do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Not all. Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business or let me not say nothing about nothing or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that.
Diddy, of course, hates all of this. Through his lawyers, he's called it a hit piece, a revenge project handed by a long-time adversary. He even claims some of the footage was stolen from his own archives because he's been documenting his life for years for his version of the story. Netflix basically said, nah, the footage was obtained legally. This isn't a grudge film. This is journalism. For 50, it's the ultimate I told you so. For Diddy, it has to feel like a heavy blow, being stomped on while he's down, because 50 is now shaping how the world will remember him at his lowest point.